Hello friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Zohaib here again with you, and um, thank you very much for watching my last video on ensuring that how you succeed in the workplace with regards to the business communication skills. So thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing to my channel, and please do not forget to press the bell icon, because if you will not press the bell icon you will not be notified about my upcoming new videos. So it is again really very necessary to press the bell icon and subscribe my videos so that you keep on getting the updated videos all the time. And let me again reinforce about my video making, that I am doing this thing because a lot of friends like you asked me that why I am shooting these videos, and why I am making this YouTube channel, and why I am like sharing with you this knowledge. So some people said that do you want to make money? Definitely everyone needs money and wants money and desires for money, and but this is not a like idea behind it. And a lot of people said that you are making these videos because you want to get famous. Definitely it is a need of self-esteem of human beings, that they want to get recognized in the society. So this could be again a need, but the thing is that this is again not a purpose of making these videos. And the third thing, that why I am making videos is all about my passion, like and I would also suggest you that whatever you are doing in your life, if you are not satisfied your current job or your work and the business or profession you are in, if you are not satisfied with it, at least if you are not being given opportunity by society, so at least you can spend time by doing things which make you really happy and which make you really motivated in your life to perform your daily tasks. So this is again my passion, that whatever I have learned in my life I should share with you guys, and I should like spread the information and education and the knowledge with you, since a lot of people might know about it, but definitely we are human beings and we keep forgetting the things. So this is purpose of making my videos. And sorry again for investing your time a lot. So let's move on the topic. Today our topic is about business communication, which is our second topic is in business communication, and that is examining the process of communication. So since communication is a central factor in emerging knowledge economy, as we discussed earlier, so major consideration to one's entering today's workforce, if you are a new entrant in a field or a field of specialization in life, or you are starting your own business, so a process of communication is very important. So just consider communication, if would not have existed, so we won't be able to convey our messages, our ideas, our information with other people. So communication is always very important to be succeeded for any profession, to be succeeded in any business. It is always very necessary to have a clear and transparent communication with your receivers, with your target audience, with your customers, and with your employees, and with your family even. So communication reduces the gaps and also aligns two minds. So basically, what is communication? Communication is a process of transmission of information and meaning from one individual group, from an individual or a group to another individual or a group. So the crucial element in this definition is meaning. Communication has its central objective of transmission of information, as I mentioned earlier, that through communication you transmit the information from one person to another person. This information can be ideas, can be suggestions, can be experiences, can be knowledge, can be any non-verbal clues, so it may be anything. And meaning is again very important. It is always very necessary that whatever the meaning sender is perceiving in his mind, the receiver should also get it as it is. So it is very crucial. So meaning of information is something which will be focused all the time in our upcoming videos as well. And if you like have a futuristic science, if you consider a futuristic science fiction movie, so definitely you will see that what kind of information they are transmitting and what kind of ideas they are giving you to proceed to the future and also make a futuristic move. So I mean, communication is always very important to bring the change in the society, to bring a revolution in the society. Without communication it is not possible to get the maximum resources being utilized, as we have discussed earlier in the management as well. So this is communication. Now let's move to the process of communication, that how does it proceed. First of all, a sender has an idea. So a sender has a like whoever is communicating is said to be a sender, and the sender must have a knowledge, a cultural background, experience, skills, and also the information, ideas, suggestions. So a sender possesses many qualities, and if he wants to transmit those qualities, those skills, those knowledges, those blah 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 to another person, he needs to send it to like receiver. For example, it also depends on how you feel, what is the mood of the sender, and whom you are addressing. If you are addressing to a prime minister and you are his assistant or personal secretary, so how should you communicate with the prime minister is a much far different from if you are communicating with your colleague or your classmates. So it always depends on the familiarity, that what familiarity you have with your receiver, and what is the background of the receiver, again what is the culture, what is the knowledge, what is the skills, what are the experiences of the receiver as well. This thing needs to be considered while communicating. So the form of idea, whether simple or greeting or complex idea, is shaped by assumptions based on the sender's experiences, as we discussed. A manager sending a message to employees assumes they will be receptive, while direct mail advertisers assume that receivers will only give a quick glance to their message. So ability to accurately predict how a message will affect its receiver and skill in adapting the message to its receiver are keys and key factors in successful communicator and successful communication. So the next thing after a sender has an idea, a sender encodes that idea in a message. The next step in communication process includes that a sender encodes that idea into words. So to convey the exact meaning, a sender should select the proper words, the accurate, specific words which will be more appropriate for the message, that how the receiver will perceive that message. So since you know that in different cultures different symbols have different meanings, so I mean let me give you an example of Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is a brand in British. It was launched in England, so it was launched by American. It became a total flop. It fall down on the earth. It could not be a successful brand. Why? Because Dr. Pepper means prostitute in slang of British people. So they thought it Dr. Prostitute. So how would a brand containing such name would be successful? Because in that particular case Americans did not do their homework and they did not research on the culture or the slang language of the Britain people. So I mean, having a knowledge about the backgrounds, about the culture, about the experiences of, about the languages of the receiver is very necessary when you are communicating. If you would not have that, the exact meaning would not be conveyed and it would be called as bypassing. So recognizing how easy it is to misunderstood, skilled communication, choose familiar words which are very common words with concrete meanings and which are very familiar to the sender and the receiver both. And again the sender should be aware about the background of the receiver. So like failure to choosing the appropriate word definitely is the failing of communication, and you will not be successful to communicate effectively and efficiently. Because if you are working in an organization, you need to communicate properly at all times. If you are a manager, so you need to select the more specific, more appropriate words to send your ideas to your teams and your instructions to your teams, so that team can perceive the messages you are sending and they can work and act on that message properly. After that comes the channel, that over which channel your message travels. For example, I am a sender and I am sending you my ideas, my suggestions, my knowledge, my skills, my information I'm sharing with you, and I'm like encoding that message, and you are being a receiver, receiving my message and perceiving my message. And the channel what I'm using is social media. I'm conveying these messages to you via YouTube. So YouTube is a channel in that particular case. So the medium over which the message is physically transmitted is known as channel. Messages may be delivered through computer, through telephone, through letter, through faxes, through announcements, through pictures, through spoken words, through non-verbal communication, through paper, or anything can be a channel, because communication channels deliver both verbal and non-verbal messages. Senders must choose the channel and shape the message very carefully. A company may use its annual reports to attract the shareholders and stakeholders and to show the good results to the investors. So again, like where the annual reports get published is again very important, and it is said to be the channel of the communication. The verbal message lies in reports, financial and organizational news. Non-verbal messages, though, are conveyed by the report's appearance, showy versus bland layout, ample white space versus tightly packed column of the print, and tone, conversational versus formal. Anything that interrupts the transmission of a message in the communication process is called noise. Channel noise ranges from static that disrupts a telephonic conversation to typographical errors even in a letter or email message, and that is again said to be a noise. Such errors damage the credibility of the sender. Channel noise might even include a noise a receiver feels when the sender chooses an improper medium for sending a message, such as announcing a loan rejection via postcard or firing an employee by email. After that comes the receiver decodes message. The individual it is the next process step in the communication process. The receiver decodes the message. The individual for whom the message is intended is the receiver, as we have discussed earlier. Translating the message from its symbol form into meaning involves decoding. Only when the receiver understands the meaning intended by the sender, then the communication is said to be successful. And if the receiver is unable to decode the message sent by the sender and encoded by the sender, then the communication is said to be a failed communication. So it is difficult to achieve because no two people have the same experiences, same knowledge, same skills, same qualifications, same skills and same qualities. So I mean, definitely two humans have different ideas. Even the two brothers in a house also differ from each other. So to understand the receiver, to understand the sender's perspective, it was always very necessary to be a good listener and to understand the message very carefully. And when you are being instructed by your manager, you need to paraphrase those words, or you need to also confirm with the manager that if there is any clarity about the instructions, you can let me know kindly so that I can not make mistakes. So decoding can be disrupted internally by the receiver's lack of attention or bias against the sender. It can be disrupted externally by loud sounds or illegible words. Decoding can also be sidetracked by semantic obstacles such as misunderstood words or emotional reactions to certain terms. A memo that refers to all the women in an office as girls, for example, may be disturb its receivers so much that they fail to comprehend the total message. So again, choosing the specific words is very important. The next step which comes after a receiver decodes the message in communication process is feedback travels to sender. The verbal and non-verbal responses of the receiver create feedback, a vital part of the communication process. Feedback helps the sender to know that the message was sent and received accurately and perceived and meant accurately. If a receiver, as you hear the message, for example, how are you, how would you respond to it? I'm fine. Or you will raise your hand like this and wave your hand like this, or you will smile in response. So it is very again important that what kind of language you are using and with which kind of person. So senders can encourage feedback by asking questions. So I mean, you can ask, if you are delivering a presentation, you can ask that, am I making myself clear, or are you able to understand me? If you kindly come up with the questions. If you don't understand anything, So these questions encourage the feedback from the receivers, and receivers paraphrase sometimes or ask questions if they don't have the clarity about your communication, that what you have communicated to them. So receivers can improve the process by taking part, by giving suggestions to you, your ideas, and it also the idea gets improved by their suggestions. So it is always advisable to encourage receivers to give suggestions. The best feedback is descriptive rather than evaluative. For example, here's a descriptive response: I understand you want to launch a used golf ball business. Here's an evaluative response of this: your business idea are always weird. So I mean, that kind of evaluative response discourages the sender. So being receiver, you should avoid that type of feedback which discourages the people, and the next time they will not come up with the new ideas to you, rather they'll go to somebody else. If you are a manager, you should always encourage your team members, whether they may have a very rough idea, you should encourage them that at least they are thinking about anything. So an evaluative response is always judgmental and does not tell the sender if the receiver actually understood the message. So it is all about today's video about communication, and thank you very much for watching my video once again. And please do not forget to watch my videos, like and subscribe my channel, and press the bell icon so that you get the notifications. In our next video, we will be talking about overcoming the interpersonal communication barriers. Till then, thank you and take good care of yourself.